What else is on the menu? What else we speaking about?
Yeah. Well, y'all lead me. I'm letting y'all lead the charge, but I guess as I'm sitting here running my mouth, we were talking about it. Every time we bring up Tekken, the day after we record, they drop more Tekken related news in our laps.
Every time.
We got quite a bit. We're like 4 characters behind. And there's also something that BLJ wished upon a star and they brought into Tekken 8. So, what you got?
To be fair, it's not our fault that we're 4 characters behind. They are releasing character trailers like they're going out of style, almost like the game's coming out within 6 months. But not really our fault, you know. It's a once a week show. We can't.
Hey, at this point, man, they've been releasing trailers like every 3-4 days, like kind of crazy.
Yeah, and then they dropped 2 together today.
Yeah.
Yeah, Evo Japan. So I'll say this. I'm surprised because usually I'm spot on the money with this type of stuff, right? When Tekken 8, debuted and they showed you that, June was still alive in that teaser trailer, when they showed us some gameplay or whatever during the heat mechanics, and they had revealed Paul, they revealed Law. I think they revealed Lars, Jack, all those trailers that they showed us, they revealed them. I was 100% sure that once they showed Jun Kazama, they were going to quiet down a little bit. Like, okay, we showed you this for a while. Well, we'll see you, within a half a year. But no, they're keeping at it. So they revealed, like I said, they revealed Jun, but then they turned around and revealed Ling Xiaoyu, Jin's unofficial love interest. Like they like each other, but they aren't really an idol. Then
I was about to say,
they turned right around and surprised me. Well, it's just that Ling Xiaoyu's been knowing Jin. They went to the same school together. I think Heihachi had the schools named after him or whatever, or something like that during the Tekken 3 Tekken Tag days. Jin Kazama, I don't know if BLJ actually brought it up, but Jin Kazama actually has a school outfit. Him and Ling Xiaoyu have a school outfit that they can wear, and that's when they went to school together. And she's head over heels for Jen. She, apparently just like in real life, a lot of, I won't say a lot of women. Well, bad boys are in style. We'll just say that, they get the sympathy and the empathy and I can fix him. And that's kind of Ling Xiaoyu's thing.
Wait. Jen isn't a bad guy though.
Oh, he's definitely Tekken 6. He definitely was power is everything. Woo woo woo. Just like Tekken 7.
That was the Azazel one, right?
Yeah.
That's the one where you fight Azazel at the end. Yeah. So didn't he come out later,
and also,
in one of the endings in that game, and he says, "Yeah, go ahead."
No. Even so, one of the endings. That's Tekken 5 when he goes rogue. That's what I was about to tell you right now. Tekken 5, he still was emo because he was recovering from Heihachi betraying him. You remember, this was a couple of episodes back, like actually a lot of episodes back. And let's see if I got my voice acting skills. But I think we were talking about costumes and we were talking about Jin. And we got on the topic, lore, how Heihachi betrayed Jin Kazama. And then I was like, Grandpa, how could you do that? You remember when I did that? That was like 20 episodes ago. But basically, Heihachi blasted Jin in the head, and that betrayed Jin's trust, everything he stood for. And the ending, he turned, that's when he first turns to Devil Jin and he slams Heihachi, and he flies away. So after that, I think it's Tekken 4. It wasn't even Tekken 5. Tekken 4 is when he debuts with the hoodie, and that's when he's emo.
And he's unlearned the Mishima
I hate
style,
everyone.
right?
Get away from me. Yeah. So that's when he begins his transformation, and Ling Xiaoyu takes note of that, and she begins to try to save him. She wants the old Jin back in Tekken 3 where they were buddies, and yada yada yada. Let's jump to Tekken 5. He's still emo Jin, and at the end of Tekken 5, where he canonically wins, he sits in that chair and he turns bad. So Tekken 6, he wages war to flush Kazuya out, I believe, or something like that. He accidentally blows up Miguel's sister. Hold on. Let me get this lore out right quick. He accidentally ruins Miguel's sister's wedding. So now Miguel is mad and he wants to beat up Jen. Yeah. And 7, he carries that same bad boy attitude. Power is everything. Now magically Tekken 8, his mom comes back. Mommy! And now he's, power isn't everything. Strength isn't everything. So you know how they jump around with these stories.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what I was going to say was, from my knowledge of Tekken 6, Jin states that he was only causing all this war to draw out Azazel because he knew he would show up eventually and he wanted to draw him out while he was there to stop him. And that was the only reason that he caused all the wars.
Okay. And that's so cool, but he's still causing death and destruction. And man, I hope it ain't no Namco super fans out there, but I think Azazel his origins was so lazily wrote in. Like they didn't give us no hints that it was an evil entity or nothing. They just made Jin bad and he was like, oh, this is why it's an evil entity underground. That's why I did it. Like I wasn't really rocking with that. It is.
Azazel was one of the possibly the worst Tekken boss.
Yeah. But we got in this whole side chat because I said, he's a bad boy. I can fix him. But, back to Ling,
So they announced
she's head over
Azazel.
heels for Jen. And what do you mean they announced Azazel? What are you talking about?
They announced Azazel for Tekken 8. He's coming back.
No, he's not. You really had me sitting here pausing. But how do y'all feel about Ling's, her aesthetic, her moveset? Did y'all look at the trailer?
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of her outfit. The orange and black, love it. Looks real good.
Yeah.
Looks real good.
Yep.
I feel like
Redesign
it's
looks really
matured along with her. Usually she has, like Tekken 3, she looked like a little Chucky doll. Like Tekken 3, she kind of looked atrocious to me, but that's just my opinion. I did not like her look in Tekken 3, but she evolves each
none of
game.
the characters really look
And
that
I think
good
she
in
has
Tekken
a
3.
very... but she was one of the worst. But I just feel like Tekken 8, she looks really, really good.
That and Jen's alternate costume, that biker outfit. I don't know what that mess was.
You keep bringing that up. Yeah.
Not worse than that. But her moves in the trailer look really good, though. She looked like she had some new tricks, you know what I mean? And a lot of old tricks at the same time. But like her movement was very fluid. Like I'm definitely a fan of her. This particular Tekken, all the trailers that they're showing, like I really want to try out everyone, just at least a couple matches or so. You know what I'm saying? Like they're making everybody look very interesting. You know what I mean? And she's definitely one of those for me. So she was good.
The best way that I can describe how. Oh, go ahead, Lambo.
I was going to say, it's funny you say that you want to try out every character, because one thing they mentioned was that they put in, I forget what they called it, but they put in a system to where you could, in the middle of a match, press some button and it would put the character on simplified controls so that you could try them out more easily without having to go through and learn their move list.
Well, I guess it's something that we have to see how it works when it comes out. But if they were to do that, then how would you actually learn the character if you can't? Well, if you're not looking at their move list and you're just pressing one or two buttons to do their moves, you know what I mean?
I think they go off of just character aesthetic and the way they move and stuff like that.
Okay.
And the idea is that you only use it
learning their
just to test them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I was gonna say, man, is when we started this podcast back in June, we didn't bring up Tekken too much. We started bringing it up, once we saw the trailer. But yeah, June. Imagine that. But what I want to say is, Tekken. I've always been a fan of Tekken. I'm more of a fan of its little brother or little sister, whatever you refer to, Soul Calibur. But Tekken pretty much is, I'm like, it's Tekken. I'm sitting there eating my cereal, and they just keep showing these amazing trailer after amazing trailer or gameplay, or Jin and Kazuya fighting in that volcano, and you sit there eating your cereal and you look and you like mid bite, you got milk dripping down your chin, and you're like, well, I'll be damned. Like, that's how I feel with each trailer that's coming out. Like, it's crazy, like I'm just sitting there like, wow. Like, and I'm not saying that wow lightly. Like, they're really wowing me. Like, when Paul and Law were in that Gladiators Coliseum and they were fighting each other, and Paul gets to come in stunting and he yells Yahoo. Like, it's just stuff like that that is drawing me in. And BLJ, we talked about it last time. I'm not going to give these two a lot of spotlight. We talked about him, but when Law flexes up, and he's just buffed up, I'm like, it's just drawing me in. Like, the aesthetic is crazy good. And it's like, last week, a lot of content creators got to go to Bandai and test out the game. And they're like, these videos aren't going to do it justice. It looks like amazing in person. So I can't wait till we actually get either a beta or the full game out and we can see how great this game looks, But I'm going to go ahead and put the spotlight on another character. They also revealed Jin's cousin, Asuka. And she's running around as her usual cheery self, like a tomboy. She gets her bike entrance as well, her bicycle. And now she has on, I can't remember what style of hat that is, but it made me laugh. She got this big ass hat on and she's smiling under it or whatever. And just like BLJ said, she still looks like our classic Asuka, but she definitely got some upgrades in regards to moveset and technique, So I was going to ask you, how do you feel about her?
In her trailer, she was doing like this point pose after she did certain moves. So I'm not sure if that's like a buff to like a certain move, or like a buff to her whole move set, or to the like a counter hit on the next hit type thing. I don't know, but she would do a move and then she'll point, and then there was like this blue aura that came around her body sort of when she would do it. So that's definitely new for her.
You probably talking about you sure you're not talking about the heat?
No, it's not heat. No. She would do a move and then like point forward, like, and then like this blue stuff will come over her body very briefly. So it looks like a buff. It's definitely different from the heat system.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she definitely looked really good. I like
I have to go back and check that out.
How fast she moves, and a lot of her moves are very flashy, and I like flashy characters. Her rage art was very impressive.
I was just gonna say they gave her a new rage art, but the past few games, I believe, she has like a punch, like her rage drive in Tekken 7. I think she had that punch, but now they've incorporated that into her rage art on this one. It looks really, really good. So, I'm with it. I'm looking forward to seeing, who mains her. And another thing, and this is just conspiracy corner here, but can there be Asuka without no Lily? Do you think Lily's going to sit this one out? Or do you think Lily's going to come too? Because Asuka to me is Tekken Sakura, and Lily is Tekken's Karin from Street Fighter. So do you think they're going to let her sit out? Or you think she's going to appear? What do you think, Bill?
To be honest with you, I'm not really a fan of her character like that.
Really?
I never really was. Like, maybe it's a moveset or something. I don't know. But like, whenever I watch people play her, she's just not for me. I don't dislike her. Like, I think she sucks, like Hakan or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I don't know. Just her aesthetic, like, it's just not.
Okay.
For me.
Okay. Cool. So get this. Voice acting rant. Try to make it short.
Oh.
So Lily, she was introduced in Tekken 5, I believe. Honestly, it might have been Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection. I can't remember. But she definitely was part of the Tekken 5 universe. And that was before they started trying to closely align the characters with their nationalities. So she just sounded like a pampered, spoiled brat, right? Mm-hmm. So later in Tekken Tag 2, they gave her this French, really seductive, really calm French voice. I think I ranted about this before. I do want to say it's lazy, but at the same time, I try to be respectful, and maybe it costs too much. But they would give her the new voice lines, being French. But when you fight her in game, she still sounds like that spoiled brat. So it was off. And they did the same thing with Julia in Tekken 7, where she has this streamer voice, streamer personality, but when she fights or when she gets KO'd, she sounds like the old Julia. I did not like that. But anyways, Lily, not trying to rant too much. I hope if they bring her back that she has that seductive, calm French voice, the whole way through. There's another character that I'm gonna nitpick on their voiceover here in a little bit. It's not a huge nitpick, but they're actually on our, list of characters that we are talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we still got Jen's mom to talk about too. So she's next. All these characters we talking about are related to Jen in some way. You got Ling, his potential love interest. You got Asuka, his cousin, and then whenever we done talking about Asuka, we're gonna jump to June.
Yeah.
So I'm just letting y'all say what y'all got to say.
Oh yeah, that's my.
I was just gonna say
I don't know
with
if she'll make it
Lily,
into the
she's
game.
so forgettable.
Oh, you with BLJ?
Just,
I don't know. I don't think she's forgettable.
I was gonna say she's so forgettable.
I think
that
they're gonna
I didn't even remember who she was until halfway through your monologue.
Oh man. Oh, okay. Well, through my monologue. But yeah, I think they're gonna revamp her, and then she'll get. I don't know if she has a huge fan base or not, but I hope she comes back. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to June.
Oh,
yeah.
Jen's mama, the one that scared some sense into him. Now he's acting all good because his mama's running around.
And get that.
So what do y'all think about her?
I will say, right, so June was in Tekken 1 and Tekken 2. She had her whole move set, and then they put her in Tekken Tag 1 and 2, And then after that, it's kind of like, oh, well, we assume that she's dead or whatever, right? So when they put her in Tekken 8 and they showed off her doing her moves in the trailer, I feel like she didn't keep a lot of her old moves like that she passed on to Asuka. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Asuka had a lot of the classic moves that June had in Tekken 2 and 1. And when they showed June's moves, they were like, not all of them were different, but her moveset is definitely different from Asuka's, you know what I mean? Which is a welcome change for sure.
Yeah.
But she just didn't have a classic 3-wing circus. You remember that move? Well, I think it's 1 and 4 when she do like the low kick into the punch, you know what I mean? Asuka showed that in her trailer, but you didn't see that in June's trailer, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Very, very different, very different.
It seems, very different, but it seems like, I don't want to say she's possessed, but it's more like she's blessed by some entity now. She has like some holy powers.
Yeah.
Purification
angel
powers,
confirmed.
like a priestess. Yeah, something like that. And she has these powers, and she's like, with these powers, something, like I'll cleanse corruption or something. But my quick take on it, since I'm doing monologues, I think she looks very good. I love the fact that
her costume is dope. It looks really good.
Yeah, I love the fact that she's still trying to save Kazuya. Like, he's done all this stuff, but she just feels that somewhere in his core is, a lonely, tortured soul, and she wants to help him. So I'm interested to see where the story goes.
And I'm going to be a weeb for a minute.
Told you, man, those bad boys.
I even noticed that she still calls him Kazuya-san. So she still respects him and wants to help him, rather than just calling him Kazuya. Just like Kazuya refers to Jin, he just calls him Jin Kazama. He doesn't say any honorifics to his name. So,
Kazama Jin! Yeah.
Yeah. But she still calls him Kazuya-san because she cares. Was Amber disagreeing with me?
I got you.
I don't know what Amber on
Amber
right
knows
now.
more
She
about
tripping.
honorifics.
But yeah, one thing I do want to point out in that trailer also is Kazuya, he's all gruff and mean, but when he sees her, his guard falls. So very interested.
Get away from me, woman.
Yeah, very interested to see what happens. He definitely didn't do that with her, but very interested interested to see where their story goes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Jen, not Jen, but June, she had some different moves as well. She had like a move that she was doing, and it was like a spark come from the ground and hit you or something. It was like not a projectile, but it was like she would do a move, and then the after effect of the move, like it would explode the ground and hit the other character. So different stuff going on. I don't even know how to describe it, but definitely different from her.
She's got the power of heaven de leche.
I guess so.
Yeah.
God is on her side for sure.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So we're plowing through these trailers, and I want to bring up our last trailer we're going to talk about right quick. It's not surprising that this character is in the game, but I wasn't expecting them to reveal him so early. And they also gave him a cool-ass title. He's known as the Grandmaster of Drip. And that is none other than the Wing Chun practitioner, Leroy Smith. And I was very surprised that he touched down, so early. And one thing, remember, like a couple minutes ago, I had a voice acting nitpick. His original OG voice actor is not voicing him in this iteration of Leroy. And you can definitely notice that it's not the original voice actor. But his new voice actor, which Lambo is a big fan of, he actually did a great job. It's just me, when you're used to hearing a certain character, like one of his lines, time to take out the trash, the other voice actor said it, and you could tell it was not the same. And it's another one. It's actually Looney's favorite. One of them, he's like, you're going out with nothing to show for it. It's different. It doesn't sound the same, but it is what it is. Tomato, tomato. I'm looking forward to Leroy's return in Tekken 8. He looks really good. And Sugar, they gave her a cute little onesie or a hoodie she has on. Sugar is his pet bulldog, and she's animated as ever. Really good. I really like that trailer. Yeah, and the Wing Chun, they captured it in exquisite, beautiful detail. And I think Leroy's trailer was exceptionally well done. So, and you won't know one thing before I pass it to y'all. I was expecting the comments to just be negative, hate-filled because of how busted he was in 7. I didn't see any of that, surprisingly. They were happy he was back. So I'm glad that he's getting the reception that, his initial reception in Tekken 7 was, oh, my God, this character is goated. And now he's back in Tekken 8, and they're like, oh, my God, goated is back.
He dropped in Tekken 7 and wasn't the next tournament 7 out of 8 of the top 8 was Leroy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It was very, very controversial.
I'm pretty sure they fixed him.
So you mind learning us up right quick on his? Yeah. You mind learning us up real quick on his voice actor?
On Bo Billingsley?
Yeah, that's who he's voiced by, right? I just thought you were going to tell us who he's voiced by. What you know him from?
Yeah. So what I know him from the most, and what a lot of people probably know him from, is from the anime Cowboy Bebop. He plays the character Jet Black, which is one of the main characters in the show. Does a fantastic job in that role. Gamers, if you don't watch anime, but you're like me and you play Devil May Cry, if you played Devil May Cry 5, you'll know him as Morrison, Dante's broker that brings him the job that he takes in Devil May Cry 5. And he's got a bunch of other credits to his name from video games and anime. He's in all kinds of stuff. I guarantee you've heard him before, even if you don't know his name. He's one of those greats like Phil Lamar that's just all over the place.
That is what's up.
Cool.
Appreciate the little voiceover lesson. For once, it's not me.
I was very surprised you didn't know who it was. I thought for sure you would know Bo Billingsley.
No, I guess not.
No, I do not.
No.
Not,
But what about you, BLJ? What'd you think about Leroy?
Leroy was very handsy. All his moves are very 100-hand slappy-ish, which is not a bad thing.
Punches.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I felt like I was watching like an old Steven Seagal fight scene. You know, and all his fight scenes was just all hands. He didn't really do any kicks. He just beat people up with a whole bunch of taps. You know, it's kind of what it looked like watching.
Steven Seagal just waved his hands around and things happened. But
things happen. That's funny.
Yeah,
he's definitely not one of my favorite.
I'm not going to get into
stars.
why he's not. Is that what you said?
No, he's not for sure. No.
Yeah, he's definitely not a favorite or even close. But
I mean, I guess
before we get onto that topic,
another time. But
another episode of TYFP off the grid.
Mm-hmm. But now, what I was going to ask you guys is, in Tekken 7, does Leroy have more than one stick move? Or is it just the rage? He has two?
I don't quote me on that. I thought he had two. I know you can use it only once a match, but I thought he had two different stick attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them was so plus it just made people flip out. Like Bill J said, one of them he can use once a match, and you said his rage drive was his stick too.
That might have been the second move. Like he had a regular move, and then he had the rage drive as a thing.
Probably so. He also could call out his pet bulldog, and she could hit you. But sometimes she would just come out and just stare at the screen, all adorable and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Definitely a unique character for sure. And fun fact, I think I told y'all this off the grid, but Tekken 7, they made the oddball choice to include Negan. I still think that is one of the most WTF choices that I have ever experienced. But they definitely tried to recruit King Ezekiel as well. If you notice, King Ezekiel and Leroy have the same hair, the dreaded hair or whatever. King Ezekiel has a companion, a female tiger named Shiva. Leroy, King Ezekiel is off of The Walking Dead. Probably didn't get that far. But King Ezekiel,
didn't even watch it.
Yeah, he has a pet tiger. Okay, he has a pet tiger named Shiva. And Leroy has a pet bulldog named Sugar. They're both female. And both of the gentlemen of African descent. And they have graying dreads. But they deviated from that because they weren't able to secure the license for King Ezekiel. They only got Negan. So they made their own character in Leroy Smith. And it actually was a glow up because people saw Leroy and they went freaking, nuts over Leroy. Oh my goodness, this character is so cool. So that's a win for them because now they don't have to worry about licensing because that's their character that they made. So that's some cool trivia for you, whatever.
Okay.
It's always interesting hearing those kinds of stories.
That's it for the character reveals, right?
Yeah, but
we got
it's one more thing Tekken related. Yeah, one more thing we got Tekken related.
Oh, it's definitely more Tekken stuff.
BLJ
characters. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I just
Tekken stuff.
Pretty much. Oh, see, I didn't even know that. Y'all gonna have to fill me in. I just wanted to talk about BLJ's wish that they be more. Old school and more. Let the characters express themselves more, right? So during all that Tekken mania. I'm gonna let BLJ take it after this, but they brought back character specific intros, and that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna let BLJ handle that.
Take us home, BLJ.
Yo.
That was unexpected.
So check this out, right? Check this out, right? So I want to say there's been a few episodes that I've mentioned just old school Street Fighter having those specific intros with certain characters. Like in the Alpha series, when Ryu and Ken would start a fight, Ken would have Ryu in a headlock and then Ryu would throw him off. Or if Sagat was fighting Adon, they would have this Muay Thai exchange before the fight. If you had Guy and Cody fight, they would kick the cans and do the whole not Streets of Rage. What's the game they were from? What's the game that they're from? Man?
Who you talking about?
What's the beat 'em up game that they're from originally? I forget the name. But yeah.
Oh, Final Fight.
Yeah, they have a Final Fight intro where they're kicking the cans and yeah. So, anyways, I miss those type of things in fighting games in general, not just Street Fighter, just fighting games. You know what I mean? So I kind of lost my stuff, man. All these trailers coming out and this amazing gameplay happening and hitting people through walls and stuff. But as soon as I saw like Lars and Jen like do a fist bump, well, I don't know if you call it like a fist bump, but they like punched each other's hands or whatever before the round.
It was a fist bump.
It was a fist bump. It was like an aggressive fist bump, I guess, because there was like a lot of electricity or whatever around it. But anyways, when I saw that, cool I was like, man, this is the best part of all this Tekken stuff I've seen. And then it went on to show Jen and Ling having a different interaction before a match. You know what I mean? Then I saw Paul have a specific intro before a match. Like the little details like that gets me super excited. It just adds more personality to the characters. You know what I mean? It's almost like you can learn a little bit more about them without them actually having to speak, you know, or you can kind of get an idea of, you know, what's going on in their mind or like what they're into or whatever, you know what I mean? And on top of that, it just adds a lot of variety. Like for somebody who is, let's say they're not a fan of playing Tekken, but if they're just watching people play, they're watching a tournament, and after every round, like these characters have different intros before like different little interactions before each round or whatever. It's just very visually pleasing. Like it's a very cool thing to add into the game. And I am a huge fan of that. You know what I mean? And I feel like these days, the closest we get to that is maybe like a Mortal Kombat game where the intros are like the same, but they have different dialogue. You know what I mean? And but so far I've seen Jen had a different intro like with Lars, and he had a different like a different little cinematic before the fight. He had one with Lars, and then he had a different one with Xiao Yu, like completely different dialogue, completely different camera angles and stuff like that. So stuff like that is very, like, for me, very entertaining. Like if a game comes out and even if, let's say Street Fighter 5 right now, right? And it was like DLC, we're adding character interactions before every match. I might buy it just so I can see them all. You know what I'm saying? Like I love those type of things. So I'm super excited that I saw that in the trailer. Like Tekken 8, like right now they're swinging for the fences, hitting a whole bunch of home runs, and they're really not missing on a lot of cylinders. You know what I mean? So Tekken's looking great, and that for me. Oh, and then another thing, we had an episode about stage transitions. Many months back, right? They showed it was in between like an actual round. It was like going into round 2, and it showed like a floor like cave in, and then the characters fell to the next part of the stage to start the new round. Now that's not like entirely new to Tekken, but with the addition of that and the character, animations and stuff before each round, like it just adds to the visual flair of Tekken. And then another small detail with the so Tekken has had they're no stranger to having characters break through walls and stuff like that. That was in Tekken Tag and Tekken 7. You know what I mean? But I want to say in Tekken 7, when people will hit people through walls, you would see the impact of them getting hit and them flying through the wall, and then the camera would cut to the next stage, and you just see the character fall from the top of the screen onto the ground onto the next level of the stage, right? In Tekken 7, you see the whole thing play through. You see people get hit through the wall, and you can watch. Oh, Tekken 8, I'm sorry. You can see their whole body hit through the wall and just follow them down until they hit the ground. Like everything is just looking so masterful with Tekken 8. Like I'm really loving
quality of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that right there is a small change. But for me, it means like a whole lot, so Tekken is looking amazing.
Yeah. Heavy impact.
So I got a question for you, young man.
What's up?
Okay.
So So does this mean
said young man,
that
not
Tekken
young
8
man.
is
That's for
now
you.
more desirable than Street Fighter 6 for you?
If I'm being completely honest with you, man, both games are swinging for the fences and not really dropping the ball at any point. But I want to say everything that I'm seeing with Tekken right now, like it is leaning more towards like, man, I might like that more, you know. And who knows, when both games come out, I might play Street Fighter more than whatever. But right now, everything that I'm seeing with Tekken, the new costumes, the new stages. Oh, we didn't even talk about the stage where the June trailer. That stage is amazing. For me, like the little stuff, like there's water on the stage and then there's land on the stage. And then you can be fighting in the water and the water splashing up and everything. And then you can go on land. And it just all looks so good. Like it's I can tell
Throwback
that a
to
lot
Tekken
of
4.
love and care. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
when I saw that, that's exactly what I thought. But a lot of love and care
reminds
they
me
put
of
into the
Tekken
game.
6. That's the one that reminds me of. Remember that stage on Tekken 6 is Mystic Forest?
Oh, that's the
With
one
that
I said.
yeah.
That's my music.
That's
Yeah.
that's what that stage reminds me of.
Yeah.
Mystic Forest.
And then on top of that, the New York stage, I've seen that stage with 3 different times a day. You seen it during the day, you seen it at nighttime, and you seen it like midday where the sun is like kind of setting and everything's kind of got like an orange tip to it because the
I didn't
sun
catch
is
the
setting.
third one.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And all of them look good. All of them look really good. So I wonder if that's
Yeah.
if like in between each round, like the time of day will change, or like will it be its own level?
That'd be
like
cool.
This stage daytime, this stage nighttime. You know, I don't know, but they all look good.
They'd steal that from
They
Soul
all look
Calibur
really
if
good.
that's the case.
Well, they are published by the same company, so
Yeah.
makes sense.
But to answer your
But
question,
yeah, back to what me and Lambo was saying.
Tekken is up there above Street Fighter right now. Not even gonna lie, man. It's looking good. Looking good.
Above Street Fighter. Okay.
Never thought I'd hear that. Yeah,
You heard it
never
here
thought
first,
I'd hear
folks.
that, but yeah, me and Lambo say this, and I'm not gonna linger on it long. But like I say, we mentioned it earlier. The speed they're releasing these trailers, I'd really be surprised if this game was a year out. I'd be really surprised. That means they're going to have a huge roster if they're revealing these characters at this rate. So I don't know. We'll see. They already have playable builds of it out to get people's feedback.
Yep.
To me, that feedback, they can just go in and fine tune it. Like the core mechanics are there. They can just go in and fine tune what everyone's concerns are and have a good product, great product, and make it go gold. And next thing you know, we'll be playing Tekken. I want to play it before the end of this year. We're only in the third. Well, we're in the fourth month now. 3 months have passed. We're working on the fourth month. I want to play
6 months
for the year. Oh, okay. Well, here's hoping, right? We'll see.
I could be wrong, but I kind of feel like we might be about 6 months out. I don't know if it'd be much faster than that, but it's kind of what I'm feeling right now.
I want them to take their time, but I hope it's not a year from now. I hope, we still on the pod and we're like, remember we said it was coming out in 6 months. Here we are a year and a year. I hope we get to play it before then. But
hey,
welcome to Thank You for Playing episode 837.
Now, question for both of y'all, right? So,
Tekken 8.
the visual part of Tekken, like, I just want to hear your opinions on it. So, Tekken has like tracking moves, right? Like moves, if you sidestep them, you could still possibly get hit by them because it's tracking you or whatever. I noticed in the trailer and just like developer gameplay matches, all the tracking moves have like this, like when they swing, there's like a ray of light that follows the limb that's being swung. You know what I mean? And then like a lot of other moves. Yeah, like it's just like it's a lot like particle effects. Like it's just a lot of them.
Yeah. When
characters are swinging or kicking or whatever. How do you guys feel about that, like visually? Because that hasn't really been in Tekken like this. Like it's in Tekken, but like the visual part of it, it's not really as flourish like it is in Tekken 8. You know,
it's not as flourish, but it's still tracking moves still had a visual flair. They just added on to it. I liked it in Tekken 7. I like it in Tekken 8.
Yeah.
Tekken 8, they tracking moves, they still had those particles showing you that it was a tracking move.
I just like now they just like lit up way more. Like you can really see the
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you
For me
saying,
and
Lambo?
Toro both coming from Soul Calibur, we're used to a bunch of light things happening on the screen. I mean, every time you swing your weapon, there's a light trail. So,
A color trail.
I mean, that kind of stuff. I don't
Yeah.
think that would bother
Okay.
me at all.
Oh no, I think it looks great. I just feel like in this particular
Yeah.
Tekken, like it's a lot of it. Even when I think
It's just
when
new to Tekken.
you get hit with a move that Tekken, yeah, my bad. When
Yeah.
you get hit with moves that take chip damage, the person taking the chip damage, their whole body kind of glows orange. Like they just got a lot of different little things in the game, you know, like visually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so
Definitely can't wait to get the game and unpack all that stuff because, man, if it comes out this year, then I might take me some time off. I didn't plan on taking no time off for SF6, but Tekken drops. I'm probably going to take some time off and unpack that because I know the scene, the lobbies, the mugs are going to be live. It's going to be a good time. So we'll see.
mm-hmm.
We'll most definitely see.
Is that all
Lobby's
the Tekken
full of
news?
We
Leroy.
should have
More?
named this. Yeah. I think we about done. I don't think we should have
Yeah,
just named this a
I think
Tekken
that's
stream
everything.
because and we mainly just talked about Tekken, but yeah, I'm getting
It's
ready to
because
park
Tekken
the
just is
party
nonstop
wagon.
right now.
So people thought, yeah,
I'm
for
bringing
sure.
one more thing before you park that bus. But last
All right,
pod
my G.
I mentioned the new Sifu update, and
Okay.
I
Yes.
will say with that update, it's definitely added some hours of gameplay on my end because it's basically survival.
Well, why don't you show us some? Why don't you show us some gameplay here? Orlando might already have, opened his third eye. And we might have stock footage of you playing it right here. So disregard me saying that if it's stock footage of Sifu already playing. But go ahead, continue,
No,
good sir.
I just feel like it's put together well, right? So I would have been happy with just different levels. They just have enemies and you fight them, fight waves of enemies, and that's it, right? And that's pretty much what it is, but they have different levels with different objectives, right? So you have the levels where you're just fighting waves of enemies. Then you have the levels where you're fighting to get a high score. You have the levels where you're trying to capture an area, right? Like you have to run to this zone and beat up these characters in this amount of time, and then we'll go to the next zone and beat up these characters in an amount of time. You know what I mean? And then
sounds fun.
And then they have it where each level, like your character has a different outfit. You know, so some of the stuff that you didn't unlock during the main story, like in this mode, he has different outfits. You know, or they might give you a weapon that's unbreakable, so you can use throughout the whole level. You know what I mean? So.
That's cool.
It's not just fighting waves of enemies and that's it, but they actually have like different objectives while you're doing it. So, you know, if you're trying to get because you can get 1 to 2 to 3 stars, right? 3 being like the best of each level.
Already?
Yeah. So like,
okay.
For me, I'm trying to get 3 stars on every level. I got most of them. Some only got 2, some only got like 1, but I know for me, like it's really gonna add like a lot of replay value for me. So I've definitely been putting that time in it. It's really fun. It's been a good time.
Put in another 40 hours just this
y'all
week.
Heard it. Go pick up Sifu.
Yeah,
y'all go pick up Sifu so y'all can experience the fun. But that's what's up. Appreciate you for letting everybody know.